So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and they have possession at their own 41-yard line with 4:18 to go in the first quarter. No score. Ayala, quarterback, and handed to Castro over the left side. Man, he runs downhill, doesn't he?
I like the way he runs.
Do too, over the 45-yard line to about the 47, and that's going to be a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4.
What I like most is the 3 of the linemen still with him.
11 yards and 2 carries. Had one long one brought back on a penalty, and the flag goes up on this before the snap of the football.
Defensive end jump for the Raiders.
And that should give the Tigers a 1st down and move the ball into Raider territory for the first time tonight. And indeed it will.
We got 3:55 left in the first quarter of play.
So they'll put the ball at the Raider 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. No score here in Imperial. The Tigers and the Cibola Raiders out of Yuma. And Jonathan listening back in Meade, Kansas. Where his son Peter played on the game. The Meade Buffaloes came up with a 36-0 win yesterday in the first game.
Congratulations.
And out to Castro. Man, he spins. He gets hit by one, spins around, gets hit by another, but holds onto the ball and gets 3 yards out of it. Be a 2nd down and 7.
You told me the kid's name, number 40, Andrew something. Adrian
Molina.
Finished right in the goal.
So 3 yards on that, man. He got hit hard on those.
He sure did.
Held onto the balls. I like seeing that. 2nd down and 7 from the Raider 45. Ayala in the backfield at quarterback. Goes back to pass. Sets up, looks over to the near side, has a receiver, and he throws it up, and boy, that's
still high.
Way too high.
Still throwing high.
And dangerous in that could have been picked off if the defender was looking for the football and not at the running. It was intended for Jaden Lopez, but just a little bit high and will fall incomplete. 3rd down and 7 from the 45. 1 of 3 for 11 yards for Ayala passing so far in the game. Ayala has Jimenez in the backfield, gets the call over left tackle, spins his way for the 1st down and inside the 35-yard line to the 34. An 11-yard gain for Jimenez and a 1st down for the Tigers.
Now he's running downhill. Now he's not standing straight up. Make two little pretty cuts. Get himself loose.
So 1st and 10 Tigers from the 34, the Raiders. Jimenez again, penalty flag goes down, and Julian's going to get good yardage again down to the 25-yard line, but a penalty flag right as the snap. That might have been a legal procedure, perhaps, from the Tigers. Might be an offside.
I didn't see it.
Let's hope.
I didn't.
Because I'd hate to waste a good run like that.
He sure was battling to get that 1st down.
No flag. So no flag. So it's going to be a 9-yard gain. 2nd down and 1, and the ball was at the 25-yard line.
Right at it. Oh, they didn't give it to him. They didn't give it. Just short.
2nd and 1. Tigers will load up the right side, have 3 wide receivers going to the right. Lopez, Villacampos, and Nixon. And back to pass Ayala. Looks on the far side. Pump faked in, throws it deep, incomplete.
And he got a hit. Look at that. Look at that.
Intended for Jared Nixon, and he wasn't able to pull it down.
And he got inside of the defensive back. We had that one.
So it'll go incomplete.
We got to keep doing that. He's almost a foot taller than that defender.
3rd and 1 from the 25. Is 1 of 3 for Ayala, who struggled in the first half last week.
Same thing.
Was very strong in the second half.
He did a lot better when he hurt his left foot or knee, whatever.
Yep.
He wasn't pushing.
Direct snap to Jimenez. He'll get the 1st down. Then some, still on his feet inside the 20-yard line to about the 16. And a 1st down. Another 9-yard gain.
Good. I like the way he bounced it out to the outside. And I think that was 40 again that brought him down. It sure was.
30 yards on 4 carries for Jimenez. I'm liking the way these running backs are looking in this game.
Not better
between him and Castro.
Yeah.
Ayala move Jimenez to the right side of him. Gets the call right up the middle. Puts his head down. Gets inside the 20-yard line. Or inside the 15-yard line, I should say. To about the 13, it looks like, a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
I like the way he's putting his head down and running downhill instead of running straight up.
Running hard. Good size. 6 foot 185.
Yep. A heck of a baseball player.
Gully gets the snap. Fakes the handoff. Going to throw it out to the near side. He just didn't get it out of his hand very well. Intended for Lopez, will fall incomplete. So 3rd down and 7 from the 13.
Yeah, that nose was pointed down and it went straight down. Usually he overthrows. This time it went straight down.
I think Jaden was 3 of 10 in the first half last week, and then 12 of 14 in the second half.
Tale of 2 halves again.
Right.
2 games in a row.
Right.
Hopefully we can put the whole game together.
Completed 1 of 5 for 11 yards so far tonight. 3rd down and 7 from the 13. Ayala will look both sides down the line. Slaps his hands, gets the snap, looks out on the far side, get it completed to Jimenez, breaks out for 1 tackle. He's got another hitting for the end zone. Touchdown.
Gave it to him.
Tigers. Jimenez will score from 13 yards out, and the Tigers lead it by a 6-0 score.
Awesome. Good run by JJ.
And I tell you what, he is looking good tonight.
Probably because it's not 115 degrees.
That could be the weather may be favorable for him on that. So, well, Robles will come in for the extra point attempt, left-footed soccer-style kicker. And the ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. With 47 seconds to go in the first quarter of play, it's the Tigers 7, the Raiders 0.
Start that day off right with your favorite drink from Brick House Coffee, next door to Brick House Deli at the Lisa Tucker Center in Imperial. Brick House Coffee has so many drinks to choose from. Hot drinks, blended drinks, or cold drinks, including the best tea in the valley with different flavors. Open daily with a convenient drive-thru. And next door, Brick House Deli with big, full, fresh flavor. The Valley's premier deli, serving breakfast and lunch. So come visit them both at the Lisa Tucker Center on West Ayton Road in Imperial.
For over 60 years, the Imperial Quarterback Club has supported all sports teams at Imperial High School. The money they raise goes a long way keeping our kids busy with school activities. Members are parents and community people who care and want to donate their time. If you would like to become a member, please call Betty or Larry Zen at 760-355-1312. That's 355-1312. The Quarterback Club wishes the Imperial Tigers a great season. Go Tigers!
Tiger scoring drive will be 10 plays, 59 yards, use 3 minutes and 41 seconds off the clock, and capped by a 13-yard touchdown pass from Jaden Ayala to Julian Jimenez. And the extra point by Joel Robles. The Tigers leading at 7-0. Robles on the kickoff. He's got 5 touchbacks on the year. Oh, make it 6.
6. Even in
like
the grass being wet, he's still got a big foot.
I like that. Anytime he can force the opposing team to start at the 20-yard line every time, I'm all in on that.
But I'm telling you, last year he was, I don't know that he was reaching the 20. So he's
been working on it.
He has been working. I like it.
Because he's kicked about almost every one of them through the end zone.
Even the extra point, crazy little kick, smooth. So he's been working. Good to see that.
So Cibola going right to left, and they're all white jerseys with black pants. We'll split out one receiver to the near side. Oh, it's going to be a snap up the middle. Try to describe that one for him, George.
This is something you see in baseball on the pickoff move. Second baseman, shortstop, on the pickoff move to second, they dive like the ball went out to center field. Right. That's what the 3 backs go backwards, and they with the short snap to the up back.
Demarion Wilson is that up back, and it looks strange when you had 3 people going 5 yards the other way and diving, and he got the direct snap and got 1 yard out of it. It'll be a second down and 9 from the 21.
Did not fool JJ at all. It fooled me, though. I'm looking for the ball.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter of play with a score. The Imperial Tigers 7 and the Cibola Raiders 0.
Wake up with us at Broken Yoke Cafe. Open daily at 7 a.m., serving you your favorite breakfast. From omelets, pancakes, how about eggs Benedict, waffles, and yes, Mexican breakfast too. Broken Yoke Cafe also serves lunch till 2 p.m. From sandwiches, salads, and yes, of course, the all-American cheeseburgers. You can order online at Broken Yoke Cafe El Centro or call 760-352-9655. That's 352-9655.
7-0 Tigers leading it here in the first quarter. And just to give some due to the defenders, Eddie Martinez at a cornerback, Buzz in also started at the corner. Brandon Felix at center at the safety spot. Linebackers, Julian Jimenez, Ethan Reeves, Darian Romo, Joel Villacampos, and Danny Esquives. And along the line, Levi Mincher, Jordan Malik, Maximus Alvarez, and Jose Apodaca were our starters tonight on defense for Imperial.
Yeah, speaking of Joel Villacampos, he had a great game in Hopeville last week.
Oh, he sure did.
I would have given him the game ball if we had one.
Hannoff is going to go up the middle, trying to make some moves. And, man, the Tiger defense just swarmed onto that for no gain at all. And the runner, and
Villacampos in 53.
Ricardo Bravo was the carrier.
Arenado East Bay.
And he gets no gain on that. It'll be a 3rd down and 9 from the 21. The Tiger defense has so far held the Raiders to negative rushing yards so far in the ballgame.
And that was like the Statue of Liberty there. The quarterback didn't even move.
Quarterback rolling out to his left, throwing across himself, incomplete. It was intended for Caleb Walters and will fall incomplete.
Yeah, Villacampos was there to make it tough for the quarterback.
So Andrew McNair has just completed 1 of 3 passes for 8 yards. And then on offense, rushing, they're in negative yardage. Deep to receive for the Tigers.
Ooh.
We've got a number change. We didn't get a 13. We haven't had a 13.
David, you got a 13 for a girl?
High snap on the punt. Ooh, it does get off, though, and barely gets away. And the Tigers are going to get away from it and let it roll. It'll stay on the Cibola side of the 50-yard line at the 49, and that's where Imperial will take over possession 1st and 10. And they'll be at the Cibola 49, so good field position on this drive for Imperial.
That was a good rush by the Tigers. I thought they had the block.
Well, yeah, Villacampos was in on it, and I'm not sure who the other, but there were 2 Tigers that almost blocked that punt.
I think the kick went under them even as they're laid out. Who's coming in? Any changes here? Looks like the same offensive. Yeah, everything looks the same.
So 1st and 10 Tigers from the Cibola 49-yard line. Ayala hands it up the middle to Castro. Castro will hit the line of scrimmage. Will 360 move it to get a yard, couple of yards, maybe even 3 yards on the play. Good run down. They're going to say he put it 47-yard line, so give him a couple on that. Hard run.
Oh, that was a good run. And they had him here by the foot. He got away, spun, got away, went off to the right side, and it took 2 guys to bring him down, but not till after a fight.
16 yards on 4 carries for Castro in the game.
I like the way he runs.
Yeah, I do too. He and Jimenez both are running really well tonight. Back to pass Ayala. Little screen pass to the near side. Villacampos is going to catch it and then gets hit hard after he catches it. It'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play back to the 50-yard line. A 3rd down and 11 coming up for Imperial. That was a hard hit.
Villacampos was lucky there. He's kind of blindsided there. He needed to put a little more zip on that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan's coming in.
Kind of hung him out, and Villacampos goes to the sideline. He got hit hard.
He got hit.
So Ethan Reeves will come back into the lineup for the Tigers. Villacampos will go to the bench for a moment, get his breath after that hard hit. And the Tigers looking the 3rd down and 11 from the 50-yard line.
He's up already.
3 wide receivers to the near side of the field, 1 to the far side. Ayala gets the snap, takes the handoff, going to punch it out to Lopez to the near side. It gets to the 45-yard line, dives to the 40. It'll be about a yard short. We're going to see where he went out of bounds.
I like the way they set that up, though. Yeah, at least 3 guys ahead of him blocking.
To put it at the 41-yard line. So the Tigers are going to have a 4th down and 2 at the Cibola 41. Yeah, nice little swing pass. I like that. Good for 9 yards.
They're waiting for J.J. Jimenez to go out.
So Jimenez will come into the lineup in the backfield. Castro will go to the sideline. 3 wide again to the right side. Jared Nixon, the lone rush on this side. The receiver, I should say, and handoff's going to go to Jimenez. He's not going to get it. He'll get to the 40-yard line, and that'll be it. So you'll be a yard short, and the Tigers will turn it over on downs.
He should have kept going. He stopped and tried to change directions and ran into his own blockers. Yeah, short. Campos is going out, so that's good news for the Tigers.
So 1st and 10, Cibola. Defense comes up with a stop, and they'll have the ball at their own 40-yard line. 7-0 Tigers leading this one after a touchdown right at the end of the first quarter play.
Going to get some numbers. We got Fabula, Mincher, Arispe up front for the Tigers.
Back to pass. And going deep. Intercept. Oh, in and out of the hand.
That's why he's not in the end, huh?
He jumped in the air, which I think he needed to jump, but Brandon Felix looked like it was right in his hands and came right back down. Maybe trying to run before he got it, but it falls incomplete. That just floated. That pass floated up there.
Not even close to the receiver.
No, way underthrown.
No, Eddie was right with the receiver, and this went through the middle of the field. They were way to the left.
So 2nd down and 10. For Cibola, white and black Raider uniforms. Low snap. Going to be a pitch out to the left side, and the Tigers' defense is just waiting on it.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing there at all.
Look how many Tigers are in the backfield there.
Caleb Walters.
55. Esquivel. Mincher was back there. Good push by the front line for the Tiger defense.
Messiah Mace is the ball carrier on that. It's going to be a loss of 3. So a 3rd down and 13 back at the 37.
I'm looking for Ethan. I don't see Ethan Reeves out here. He must be on the sideline. Oh, no, he's in there. There he is. He's that linebacker with Darren Romo.
So on a 3rd and 13, low snap again, back to pass, going to get flushed out of the pocket and sacked. Sacked way back at the 30-yard line, and the Tigers are going to get pretty good field position on that. He comes up with the sack.
It was Ethan.
Yep.
Ethan Reeves. Yep. And I was just looking for him. Couldn't find him.
He swarmed all over that. All the way back. They're going to say the Ford Progress go to a 31-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 6 on that. And it'll be a 4th down and 19 from the 31.
But, going back to the whole program, I like what the coaching staff did when they put these guys in, the rushers in, and then pulled out the beef, and we looked so much better on defense that second half.
Brigham Holt, high snap, and he's not going to be able to get it up. Yeah, he did. I think that it bounced off the side of his foot, and it'll barely make it back to midfield. We'll see where they're going to say the ball went out of bounds at. And it'll be on the Cibola side of the field at the 46-yard line. So the Tigers have great field position at the Cibola 46, 1st and 10.
Great job by the kicker. I don't know if he's left-footed or not, but he kicked that left-footed. Avoiding the rush. He broke to his left and barely got it away.
So the Tigers 1st and 10 from the Cibola 46, leading this ball game 7-0, looking for their 2nd victory in a row and 2nd on the season. We'll be going to Yuma to face Gila Ridge next week. And we'll be back, as far as I know, 7 o'clock start time next week, next Friday night. Y'all let quarterback Jimenez in the backfield with him, and you have a timeout?
Yep,
timeout called. 7:03 to go in this 2nd quarter of play with the score Imperial 7, Cibola 0.
Did you know that about 1,000 students from around the Imperial Valley are getting a jump on their college careers by attending IVC classes right now on their own high school campus? Ask us about our dual enrollment programs, available to students at most Imperial Valley high schools. Get started now at the #1 community college in the nation. Check us out. For information, go to imperial.edu and search dual enrollment. That's imperial.edu.
El Zarape restaurant in Imperial is 100% authentic Mexican cuisine. Their extensive menu features traditional handmade Mexican dishes with nothing but fresh ingredients. El Zarape restaurant has taken it over the top with their creative ideas like stuffed special quesadillas with carne asada, shrimp, or pollo asada. There are 17 different burritos. El Zarape restaurant, 139 South Imperial Avenue in Imperial. Or call in your order at 760-355-4435. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Tigers are the 1st and 10 of the Cibola 46-yard line. Villacampos back into the lineup. He'll go slot left with Jared Nixon to the near side. Jimenez in the backfield with Ayala and the shotgun. Tigers will take their time or haven't gotten the nod from the referees to be able to start. Man in motion, going to be a handoff to the near side. He's going to be brought down. It's number 13. We're going to have to find out who that is. They were waiting on that one. And it's not a play that we really ran this year.
No.
And yet, Cibola was waiting on that. They're going to say the forward progress got to the Tiger 49. So it's going to be a loss of 5, 2nd down and 15.
They had that. He had that read the whole way.
Oh, yeah.
He went in motion from right to left and even had to take a step back towards the north end zone to get away from the tackler and couldn't get away.
So the Tigers will have a 2nd and 15 from the 49 of Imperial. The ball back on their side of the 50-yard line.
Still trying to get a name for that 13.
Play that's been possibly brought up from the JV team. I'm not sure. Don't remember him being suited up last week. Back to passes Ayala. Fakes the pass one way. Still in his speed. Rolling to the near side. Now passes over the middle. Completes it. Nice catch and biting it off. It's going to be a penalty flag going against Cibola as Jaden Lopez comes up with the catch and tackled immediately at the 39-yard line, but we ought to have a pass interference call. They were all over.
He came back. Great blocking here by the front line for the Tigers. Gave him a lot of time and scrambled off to the right there.
And Lopez at 5'7", 165 did a good job of blocking out to catch the ball and come back and getting it.
He came back to get it?
Right.
I think he got pushed right before the ball got there.
Pass interference will go against Cibola. So that'll give the Tigers a 1st down.
Spot foul or?
They'll mark it at the end of the play, but I want to think it's 5 yards at the end of the play.
At least at 35 where he got hit.
No, it was about at 37.
They're still talking it over. There comes the white hat. Seaman. Still having to call it.
Yeah,
he's going to talk to Shaw.
Right. Going to talk to head coach David Shaw on the near sideline.
He's pointing back over here. But it was okay. So maybe back from where that line of scrimmage was?
If it goes to the line of scrimmage at 15 yards, it's going to be close to a 1st down. But you save the down.
There it is.
And if you don't take it, you're going to have a 3rd down and 1. So they're going to have a 2nd down and 1 instead. So we'll go with the penalty, and they'll put the ball at the 36-yard line.
Just about a foot.
So no catch on that. Penalty against Cibola, and it'll be a 2nd down and 1 from the Cibola 34.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Actually, 36-yard line from this thing. And fake the hand up to Jimenez. Throw over the middle. Going to be batted down at the line of scrimmage. Good job of the interior line of the Raiders to come through. Especially going to be Ty Stout. Seems pretty tall.
Yeah, he looks tall.
They don't have the sizes on the Cibola team. It looks pretty tall. He looks stout.
I like it.
The pass goes incomplete, but the Tigers will have a 3rd and 1 now from the Cibola 36. Jimenez will stay in the backfield. Wilson and Lopez will split out to the right, and Nixon the lone split to the left. Yella Hands off the middle to Jimenez. Gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, but then will get the first down, but penalty flag in the holding area against Imperial.
Over on the right side of the Tiger front line.
So Jimenez did get enough yardage for the first down, but it's going to be all for naught and brought back on the hold by Imperial.
He did run more upright, but I like the way he was fighting after he got hit. Oh, he picked it up.
Oh, picked it up. It's not going to be. So give the yardage and the first down to Jimenez. And they'll put it to 34, so a gain of a couple, just enough for a first down. He has 36 yards and 7 carries in the ball game. First and 10 from the 34. Jimenez will stay in the backfield with Ayala. Again, they'll split Wilson and Lopez to the right side. And now Villacampos will go slot left with Nixon wide left. Ayala 3, or make it 4 of 9 in this first half. Hand off up the middle to Jimenez. Jimenez breaking off tackles again inside the 30-yard line to about the 25. Just short of the first down. Gain of 9 on the play.
Good run by J.J. Number 7 had him right at the line of scrimmage. Aren't tackled anymore.
Quick handoff again. This time it's going to be a loss on the play, though.
Great hit by the linebacker, number 7. Oh, iced out again.
And they'll stop him for a 1-yard loss. The third down and 2 from the 26.
There we
and
go.
They're going to draw. They're going to draw the Raiders offside. Good job by Ayala at quarterback for really accentuating the call and bringing the Raiders offside. So that penalty will give the Tigers a first down.
Sure missed that last year. We didn't have very many of those.
That's how you draw. That's how you draw the offside. You know, it's perfect.
2 years ago, it seems like it worked every time.
And a good time to try it too. You've got them really trying to get through the line fast and trying to get. They're up on their toes and. So first and 10 for the Tigers. And with the ball at the 21, back to pass Ayala. Pump fake twice, throws over the middle. Oh, and almost caught by Jared Nixon, who was thrown a little behind him.
Just behind him.
Twirled in the air and almost pulled it down, but looked incomplete.
A little pirouette, left to, or right to left, and just behind him.
Clock stops at 4:31 to go in the first half. Tigers leading at 7-0.
Taking them a while to make the call here for the coaching staff for the Tigers.
Second and 10 from the 21. And the Tigers will have 2 wide receivers each side of the field. Jimenez in the backfield with it, quarterback Ayala. And something happens. So the flag might be a delay game, maybe.
Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah, delay game against the Tigers.
It took too long here on the sideline to make the call.
So make it a 2nd and 15 and put it back to the 26.
Yeah. The thing is, Ayala's coming all the way to the sideline.
They've been running the plays quickly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unusual to see a delayed game call.
Yeah, they were all over. Most of the team was over close to the sideline. At 4:31 left in the second quarter.
Ayala and off to Jimenez. Gets hit from behind, but still will carry the lineman up to the 21 and get the 5 yards back. So 3rd down and 10 from the 21.
3rd and 10 with 4:15 to go.
49 yards on 10 carries in the game for Jimenez.
I'd like to see Ethan go back in there and run off to the left side like he did in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to stop him until he had his injury.
Jimenez will be the left side of Ayala from the shotgun. Has man in motion come to the near side. Ball was fumbled. Ayala's going to pick it up. Goes way back. It's going to be sacked back around the 35-yard line, maybe the 34. So big loss by the Tigers on a 4th down and long coming up.
I thought they were going to throw a flag on Ayala because he spiked the ball. He was so upset. I don't know that it was a bad snap, though.
I didn't think it was.
No, he was right there, and the slot back went in motion. He was coming at him.
4th and 20 from the 31.
Ooh,
and look at this. Robles is going to come in for a field goal attempt. Ball's going to be put down at the 37-yard line. So we're looking at a 47-yard attempt.
Oh, I hope this will be. We got a timeout.
And timeout.
He's hiding his own player.
Yep. So let him think about this. 3:09 to go in the first half. Tigers 7, Raiders 0.
Roto-Rooter, your plumbing and drain cleaning specialist. Roto-Rooter offers full services, from hydrojetting to camera inspection, water heaters, faucets, garbage disposal, anything that's clogged up. They'll take care of the problem right. Roto-Rooter is a locally owned family business with 60 years in the Imperial Valley. Call the experts at 760-352-6789 or 344-2533 on the north end. Roto-Rooter, when drains don't work, we do.
The Imperial Tiger Football Association was started years ago to help the football team with much-needed equipment and sending players to special training. Through their fundraising efforts, the Imperial Tiger Association is proud of what they have accomplished and what they will continue to do in the future. They are always looking for new members. You can call Victor at 760-960-6317. That's 960-6317 if you're interested in helping out. Go Tigers.
So 47-yard field goal attempt by Joel Robles. Ayala on the hold. Left-footed kicker. Ball is down. Kick is up. It's long enough, and it is good. 47-yard field goal by Joel Robles.
I can't believe
the Tigers up 10-0.
I can't believe we just seen that.
Wow.
Yes, made it too.
That was outstanding.
Look at him. He is so pumped.
He is so pumped.
He's going to put it to the uprights again on the kickoff punch.
Wow, 47-yarder after a 42-yarder last week by Joel Robles, and puts the Tigers up 10-0 in the ball game. That's got to be a lifter for the whole club.
Santi who?
Yeah. Wow.
13 is Alfredo Doramen.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays on that drive.
Thank you.
Tigers don't go that far on it, though. I'll get the yardage for you in a moment as Robles is set to kick off. 6 touchbacks so far on the season. 1 earlier tonight. Here's the second one, and it's kicked, and it will go into the end zone. It stops right at the goal line, a little bit past the goal line. So it will be a touchback, number 7 for him. And Cibola will have ball 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Number 2 almost blew that. He's just watching it.
Yeah, I almost
right
didn't
there,
go in.
It didn't go in.
Oh, wow.
Just by inches it went in.
It was only 15 yards on that drive because of that long loss, you know. But it did use up some time off the clock. 4 minutes and 1 second. 8-play drive, 47-yard field goal.
Wow, it's
Robles, that is outstanding. So 1st and 10, Cibola from their own 10. Low snap. Quarterback McNair is going to bring it back, pass it down deep. Has a receiver going to complete at the 45. Brought down at the 48 by the Tigers. Again, it just seems that ball just floats for a long ways before it gets to him. Damian Camarillo on the catch.
I don't know what happened to Brandon. He went right by him.
It would be good for 28 yards.
I don't know if he's going to the picnic or... I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
So 1st and 10, Cibola from their own 48. And again, in a low snap, going to pass out to the near side, catching the ball, and should have let it go, actually, because it's going to be a loss of about 8. As Messiah Mace will come up with it. It was a little swing pass, and one of those where it's thrown behind him, just let it go, but instead he catches it. It's going to be a loss of about 8. And make it a 2nd down and 18. Bring it back to 41, so loss of 7. McNair's going to run it this way after trying to pass it and finds nobody. And gets trailed on. That's going to be a penalty. That's one of those where you just got to not do it. It was right on the sideline, and now we got flags all over the place. on a late hit by Villacampos right in front of the Cibola bench.
Yeah, he got pushed, and then Ethan pushed whoever pushed Villacampos, so that's two 15-yarders.
Right. The quarterback was running out of bounds, so just one of those where you let him go, and instead Villacampos came up and laid a pretty good hit on him at the Tiger 48-yard line, and they're going to be tagging on some penalties against this red shirts.
Yeah, Villacampos was telling the coaching staff that he still didn't play.
Yeah, but he was angling out of bounds.
Yeah.
The referee's talking it over right in front of the Cibola bench at the 50-yard line. Good run from going. He's getting the low snaps every time.
Yeah.
The quarterback,
Andrew
McNair, and then having to get up and do something with it. And there was nobody available quickly, so he ran to his left side, and as he was angling out of bounds, he was hit.
But Ethan went on blitz, and the running back tried to block him, and he put him on his stand, and he rolled backwards. Then he was chasing the QB to the sideline.
The referee's still talking it over, now talking with their head coach, Casey Keflin, on the far side, explaining to him what happened. I know that there was a Cibola player that shoved a Tiger player
also
after the hit.
Yes.
So they're both late hits.
And that's who
they both count out. And that's what they're talking about over on the far side, perhaps. Head referee John Seaman will come out to give us the verdict. Minute 46 to go in the half. Tigers leading at 10-0. The ball went to the Tiger 47-yard line, so it was a gain of about 5 yards, and now the penalty's going to go against the Tigers.
Personal foul. Imperial. Just one.
Okay, so just the one.
Just the one. So I bet the other one offset. Like you were saying, that
right.
the guy that pushed.
There was a Raider that pushed a Tiger after the hit.
Yes.
So, and that might have.
Yeah. So he pushed.
The two penalties.
Villacampos got the penalty. This kid from Cibola pushed Villacampos, and Ethan pushed him. Another slow snap.
Back to pass on a screen pass. Going to complete it over the middle. Penalty flag. Again, going to go down. I think we're going to have some holding on Cibola on this, but flags will go down. The pass was completed.
I think it might be legal man downfield. Let's see what it is. Yep.
How much far it is going to be a legal man downfield, so they'll bring this one back. So that'll make it a first and 15 and bring it back to the 37-yard line.
That's where it is. We've got 1:36 to go in the first half.
Tigers up 10-0. If you missed it, 47-yard field goal by Joel Robles. Got a 42-yarder last week, 47-yarder today. First and 15 for Cibola. See if the Tiger defense can step up and have the shutout for this first half. Back to pass McNair. Throws out to the near side.
Ooh.
And the receivers, I think, got mismatched because they
were both right together.
Right, they're both together, and I think it was intended for Talmadge, and he went in, the pass was thrown out, so it'll be a second down and 15.
Stops the clock with 1:12 in the first half.
McNair's completed 3 of 7 for 29 yards, but rushing, they're in right around 0 yardage in rushing, and we'll recap that at halftime for you. Second down and 15, back to pass McNair. Big rush, Ethan Reed. Just covered. Who else is on the bottom?
53, 52.
53.
It's 53.
Yep.
It's not me.
Aristide.
Arispe again.
Yeah. Big sack. It's going to go all the way back to the 45-yard line, and Cibola need to call timeout with 1:07 to go in the first half. Tigers 10, Raiders 0.
Johnny's Burritos, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1963. 3 locations, Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro. Delicious burritos, including your favorite breakfast burritos, made just the way you like it. Tacos and taquitos, sandwiches, burgers, carne asada, fries, and so much more. And don't forget their delicious Johnny's sweet tea. Johnny's Burritos in Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. 2 years ago, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. So if you're tired of dealing with the inconvenience of our post office hours and you would like to be able to get your mail when you want, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, in the middle of the night, then come visit us at Southwest Postal with 24-hour staff. Plus, we're also your local FedEx, DHL, and Postal Service Center. We even offer text message and email notification when you receive your mail. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Hiles in El Centro.
Cibola with a 3rd and 24 from the Tiger 46-yard line. McNair empties the backfield. Back to pass. Going to run right into Ethan Reeves again. Going to come up with a sack. Back at the Cibola 45-yard line, and the clock will roll 57 seconds and running. Wow.
This front line wants no part of Ethan. I'll tell you what, he's going untouched.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be another line-yard loss on that one. He had no time at all on that.
Nothing. As soon as he got the ball, Ethan was there. He's going through untouched, man.
Minus 19 for their quarterback, Andrew McNair.
They're letting the clock run with 26 seconds.
They're going to have to do something. They can't let it run all the way out, though. They're going to get a delay of game.
Yeah.
And then punt it, maybe.
We got number 1 back.
And who was it, that number 13 that you were saying for Imperial? We finally found out a name.
Dorame. I don't remember the first name. He said it's somebody's brother. So we must have another Dorame. Oh, Jimmy's brother. That's what he said.
Back to receive is going to be Jaden Wilson, and he will go back to about the 25-yard line. Now stepped up to the 30-yard line. And they'll go with a different punter this time. High snap, way over his head. Nope, he's going to punt it again, and it's going to land at the Tiger 45 and take a Cibola bounce inside the 30 and stop at the 29. And they're not going to touch it till the clock goes to 0. That was smart. And they're going to do it with 2 seconds to go now.
I hadn't seen that in a while.
Yeah,
2.2. That was smart of
They wasted about 10 seconds on that. The Tigers will have a 1st and 10 thrown 29-yard line with 2.2 seconds to go here in this first half.
Okay, one time to Nixon. That's all I'm asking for.
So jump ball way down there, you think?
Yeah, just let him go.
The Bull will get the football in the second half.
As far as he can throw it.
I think they're just going to take a knee.
Okay.
I know what you're wanting.
Yes.
I know, but really smart move is just to take a knee and not get the chance of an interception or anything like that. But that'll be the first half. For the score, the Imperial Tigers 10, the Cibola Raiders 0. We'll recap this first half of play in just a moment.
K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial is serving the best Japanese cuisine in the Imperial Valley. K Sushi offers you 50 different sushi rolls, plus beer, wine, and sake. And they also have teriyaki chicken or beef, rice and noodles. K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. They're open daily from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. K Sushi also caters and welcomes big groups anytime. Call 760-355-4440. That's 355-4440 for your takeout.
Stan's Auto Body has been serving customers in the Imperial Valley for many years now. Their mission is to be recognized as a premier provider of auto body repair services. Stan's Auto Body also works closely with you and your insurance company on your collision repair. They're committed to delivering superior quality and customer service by exceeding your expectations. Stan's Auto Body thanks you for making them #1 with CarWise.com. Give them a call or stop by 1880 West Euclid Avenue in El Centro.
Start that day off right with your favorite drink from Brickhouse Coffee, next door to Brickhouse Deli at the Lisa Tucker Center in Imperial. Brickhouse Coffee has so many drinks to choose from. Hot drinks, blended drinks, or cold drinks, including the best tea in the valley with different flavors. Open daily with a convenient drive-thru. And next door, Brickhouse Deli with big, full, fresh flavor. The Valley's premier deli, serving breakfast and lunch. So come visit them both at the Lisa Tucker Center on West Ayton Road in Imperial.
Halftime score, the Imperial Tigers 10, the Cibola Raiders 0, and the Tigers would go on the board first with 47 seconds to go in the first quarter on a 13-yard pass from Jaden Ayala to Julian Jimenez. Extra point by Joel Robles was good on a 10-play, 59-yard drive. They used 3 minutes and 41 seconds. and the Tigers were up 7-0. They would then make it 10-0 on an 8-play, 15-yard drive because they had some losses in it, but it used up 4 minutes and 1 second. But the big thing, 47-yard field goal.
So proud of that kid.
Wow,
the improvement from last year.
Wow.
Just so proud of him.
Lee was asking 49. It was a 47-yarder, and I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up when I get an opportunity to look up what the school record is, but it's going to be pretty close to what that is.
Yeah, I
right, so I've got to look back on it and see what it is.
I was thinking of some of the Bigfoots we used to have back in our time.
Yeah.
Jaime Garcia, David Bradley.
Right.
You mentioned him on the drive the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Elliott was as a
freshman.
freshman. He put in the back of the end zone.
He was on the freshman team with us, and in 1973 they brought him up to the varsity just to do kickoffs.
Yeah.
I think he got a speeding jersey because he wanted to carry the ball, but he would kick it off literally into the end zone every time as a freshman. And it was a straight-on kick, too. It was and it was not a soccer style. It was a straight-on kick.
Straight-on kick, yeah.
And yet it would be in that. And I remember he would kick extra points and try to kick it into the swimming pool across the street. He was something else. Lee Elder checking in saying that 62 degrees in Talmadge, Ohio, and we had about 78 degrees when we started tonight. So just a beautiful night for football here in Imperial, and hoping that will be that way next week.
Ooh,
I'm not counting on it to be that way, but
I think we're going to get up in the hundreds again.
Yeah,
but not high hundreds. We're going to stay.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to stay at least
103.
Right in the low 100s. Yeah. So that would be nice if that happens.
But
offensively for the Tigers, Jaden Ayala would complete 4 of 10 passes in the first half for 30 yards, and it would be to 3 different receivers. Well, Villacampos would catch 2 of them for a net of 8 yards, and Julian Jimenez caught 1 for 13, and Jaden Lopez caught 1 for 9 yards. In the rushing department, Jimenez, 10 carries, 49 yards, and Andres Castro, we didn't see him back out after the first part of the game. He got 4 rushes for 16 yards, and then Ayala was sacked a couple of times, -4 on that. So a total, 65 -4, 61 yards there, and 30 passings for 91 yards of offense for the Tigers. For the Raiders, Andrew McNair would complete 3 of 7 passes in the first half for a net of 29 yards. He would complete 1 to Messiah Mace of 8 yards. A big one to Damian Camarillo of 28 yards, and then there was a loss of 7 on a second completion to Mace for a net of 29. But rushing, get this, George. McNair would have -19 on 4 carries. Ibarra, 1 carry, -7. Ricardo Bravo, 2 carries for 2. Ty Stout, 1 carry for -5. Demarion Wilson, 2 carries for 3. And Messiah Mace for -3. So when you look at that, see -3, -10, -29 is what I have here unofficially in the first half. Tiger defense has just been lights out. Just haven't been able to get the offense to move. And not sure why we hadn't seen Castro back in, but hopefully we see him in the second quarter or second half.
I sure like the way he runs.
Yeah, he ran so well in that. And
I don't know why we didn't use him the first 2 games.
Yeah. I don't either.
I like the way he runs.
But I was talking to head coach David Shaw before the game, and it kind of surprised me. He said running backs will be number 7 and 26. I'm thinking 26. I had to look that up because he hadn't ran it yet this year. And then he come right out and he banged off some good yardage early in the game, and then we haven't seen him carry again. So hopefully, I didn't see anybody injured on the sideline. No. So maybe just giving it to Minutes to make him the workhorse tonight.
Or Ethan, who else carried? Was Darian Romo carrying last week?
Yes, but Ethan did not carry last week, didn't play. And
no, Ethan was out.
Right,
he was out, yeah.
and he has not been in the backfield tonight. So there have just been 2 ball carriers, Jimenez and Castro, and then Ayala at quarterback has carried the ball as well. So,
and the Tigers are good on defense. They look so good, and we didn't know what to expect because we lost everybody, the first team, all league players, they're all graduated and they're gone. So this is a good surprise for the Tigers. Ethan just having a heck of a game. We sure missed him last week.
1 game was completed already involving local schools. We'll tell you about that and the other games that are on tap tonight. We'll try to get you some updated scores as our halftime report continues in just a moment.
For over 60 years, the Imperial Quarterback Club has supported all sports teams at Imperial High School. The money they raise goes a long way keeping our kids busy with school activities. Members are parents and community people who care and want to donate their time. If you would like to become a member, please call Betty or Larry Zinn at 760-355-1312. That's 355-1312. The Quarterback Club wishes the Imperial Tigers a great season. Go Tigers!
Wake up with us at Broken Yoke Cafe. Open daily at 7 a.m., serving you your favorite breakfast. From omelets, pancakes, how about eggs Benedict, waffles, and yes, Mexican breakfast too. Broken Yoke Cafe also serves lunch till 2 p.m. From sandwiches, salads, and yes, of course, the all-American cheeseburgers. You can order online at Broken Yoke Cafe El Centro or call 760-352-9655. That's 352-9655.
And Peggy says she's going to take me to breakfast at Broken Yoke.
That's where you're going. That's where you guys go on
tomorrow. That's what our plan is for tomorrow. So,
yeah, we'll be in the mountains.
Yeah, you're going to take off as soon as the game's over tonight.
Yeah, we're leaving from here, and there's 5 other couples up there waiting on us.
Nice. Well, hopefully you'll have a safe trip back up there, and that there's not any issues.
I hope this blew over.
Yeah, I think it was the radar was showing that it was going to blow over and that would be all right from that, but you just got to watch out for the boulders up on the grade because they really, in that tropical storm Hillary a couple of weeks ago, there were some boulders that were as big as a dump truck, literally, and they still have just the one lane going eastbound, right?
Yes.
And I was talking to our daughter, Allie, back in Oklahoma, and I said, when you come out next time, we'll go up on the grade so you can see the fencing they're putting up. I said it's like from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Huge. Yeah, that reminded me of Jurassic Park movie. To try to keep the dinosaurs out, but this is to keep the big boulders out and make it safe for you. So you got to be careful when you're coming eastbound from San Diego.
Yeah, you can see where the side of that hill just came down. It's all gray there. There's a lot of earth that moved.
Okay, that field goal ties the school record. Santiago De La Torre had a 47-yarder against West Hills in 2018. So this ties the school record for field goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and I ought to call text Stephen down to let him know that he's tied it right now.
That does tie it. Josue Robles had a 45-yarder against Christian in 2015. T.J. Ibarra had a 42-yarder in 2008 against Palo Verde. And you mentioned Jaime Garcia. Had a 41-yarder in 1974 also against Palo Verde. So that's all of them that have been over 41 yards. And then now he has 2 over 40 yards.
Yeah.
Last week 42, this week 47. So he's the only kicker in Imperial High School history that has got more than one 40-yarder.
But I'm telling you, from last year, the improvement, it's unbelievable. This kid has worked so hard.
And
he's barely kicking field goals from 20 yards last year, but he had the great kicker ahead of him.
He has 7 touchbacks already this season, but he will have to go a ways to get Santiago now.
Yeah,
He had 60 in his career and 30 in 1 year in 2018, and it just seemed like that season
he could do it all.
Every time he'd kick it through. He was such a strong-legged kicker. And one that I think I will always tip my cap to him because we didn't have a quarterback his senior year. He could have set records as a receiver if he had a quarterback, but we didn't. And so he said he would be a quarterback.
Rancho Buena Vista, right? He came in, and they couldn't tackle him.
Yeah.
From the QB position, they could not catch him.
That was the start of his quarterbacking career, but it ended his career as a receiver, and he could have been probably the most decorated receiver in Imperial High School history. It was that good and had the stats leading up to his senior year, but he gave that up to be able to help the club out. So I always tip my cap to him on that. But it was something that was an unselfish thing for him to do, and he did it for the good of the team, and it worked out well for the Tigers. It was exciting for us.
Yeah, we got to watch him.
And to watch him improve each and every game at quarterback for having never played it.
Yeah, because on that game when he came in, I don't remember, who was the QB, do you remember, that he replaced? But he would run, get the snap, run to one sideline, and run all the way back to the other sideline, and they could not catch him.
He had the speed to do it.
He didn't have a real good, didn't have a real good arm, but he put it right where he needed to put it.
Yep.
and he had the whole defense following him, and he got them tired.
Yep. And he just, like I said, is one of the most unselfish things I've ever seen for someone to do that. And he could have just said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not a quarterback. I'm going to be a receiver. And yet instead he said, I'll take that responsibility on my own and do it. And I will always admire him for that. We're just about finished up with our halftime, although neither team is back out onto the field yet. But we'll be back with more of our halftime, and we'll look at if we can get some updated scores and who's playing tonight around the area. In fact, we also can look at the rankings. We haven't looked at that yet.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at that as our halftime report continues. A moment, Tigers 10 and Cibola 0 here at the half.
Did you know that about 1,000 students from around the Imperial Valley are getting a jump on their college careers by attending IVC classes right now on their own high school campus? Ask us about our dual enrollment programs, available to students at most Imperial Valley high schools. Get started now at the #1 community college in the nation. Check us out. For information, go to imperial.edu and search dual enrollment. That's imperial.edu.
El Zarape restaurant in Imperial is 100% authentic Mexican cuisine. Their extensive menu features traditional handmade Mexican dishes with nothing but fresh ingredients. El Zarape restaurant has taken it over the top with their creative ideas like stuffed special quesadillas with carne asada, shrimp, or pollo asada. There are 17 different burritos. El Zarape restaurant, 139 South Imperial Avenue in Imperial. Or call in your order at 760-355-4435. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
10-0 halftime score here in Imperial. The Tigers leading the Cibola Raiders. And Lee Elder checking in with the score. Stanford leading Hawaii 7-0 in the first quarter. It's time for college football to kick up.
Yep, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Watch some more college football.
I got all my updates. My phone was going crazy this morning. UCLA, USC, Oregon.
Mm-hmm. And Utah defeating Florida the other night. That kind of surprised me.
That surprised me.
Utah's got a good program going on.
Yeah.
But Florida, and they beat it pretty decisively. One game was in the books before we even started tonight, and that was the Brawley Wildcats that defeated Canyon Hills of San Diego 47-29. Central is up in Ramona against the Bulldogs. That game is on KXO Radio Live tonight. Southwest ventures to East Yuma to play Heater Ridge. That's where we will be next Friday night. Hoville heads west. They are meeting Mountain Empire just east of Pine Valley. Calipatria hosts O'Farrell Charter of San Diego. And Vincent Memorial will be hosting El Cajon Valley. And the Calexico Bulldogs have the weekend off as the Tigers come back out onto the field. We hear the cheerleaders cheering it up. The Tigers come in ranked number 11 or number 10 in Division III heading into the weekend. Number 1 is Mission Bay, and they are at number 16 San Diego, and a couple of Division III teams getting together tonight. El Capitan, who was number 1 last week, is number 2 this week. They're hosting unbeaten La Jolla tonight. Fallbrook will move just across the county line to take on Great Oak of Temecula tonight, and Fallbrook is number 3. La Jolla Country Day is number 4. They're at Lake Mead Academy. West Hills has moved their way up to 5th. They started out the season, I think, 13th. They're up to 5th, and they defeated Vista 7-3. So they're number 5 up from number 8 last week. Morse, the number 6 team, and here's a chance for the Tigers to move up because Morse was number 6. They lost at home to Classical Academy 14-0. Chance to move up there. Santa Fe Christian of Solana Beach hosting Chicago's Hope Academy tonight. Grossmont of El Cajon, 2-0. They're hosting Palo Verde, who's number 14 in Division III. Montgomery is another that lost already this weekend. They lost last night to Mount Miguel 40-0. So I can see the Tigers with a victory tonight could move up into the 9th position and possibly even further up, depending on what other schools do. The others are number 11 is Otay Ranch. They host Mira Mesa. Valley Center is number 12. They're at Poway tonight. Number 13 is Patrick Henry. They have a bye week tonight. And then Palo Verde's number 14. Vista 15th. San Diego is 16th. So that's what the ratings look like so far after 2 weeks in Division III, and we'll keep you updated with that as the season goes. And see
we need to score some points then. We can move up.
We can move up, yeah. With a victory tonight, I would think that we could get past Montgomery and get into 9th. But with Morse losing at home, there's another chance of maybe moving up a little more with that.
Even more,
yeah. So we'll keep tabs on that as the season continues. Our halftime score again, the Imperial Tigers 10 and the Cibola Raiders 0, and we will be back with that second half kickoff in just a moment.
Roto-Rooter, your plumbing and drain cleaning specialist. Roto-Rooter offers full services, from hydrojetting to camera inspection, water heaters, faucets, garbage disposals, anything that's clogged up. They'll take care of the problem right. Roto-Rooter is a locally owned family business with 60 years in the Imperial Valley. Call the experts at 760-352-6789 or 344-2533 on the north end. Roto-Rooter, when drains don't work, we do.
The Imperial Tiger Football Association was started years ago to help the football team with much-needed equipment and sending players to special training. Through their fundraising efforts, the Imperial Tiger Association is proud of what they have accomplished and what they will continue to do in the future. They are always looking for new members. You can call Victor at 760-960-6317. That's 960-6317 if you're interested in helping out. Go Tigers!
10-0 halftime score. Tigers will be kicking off here in the second half, and you wanted to mention the elders.
It's been on my mind for some time, but I forget to mention it, but Max Fields on the Lee Elder's book.
Right, he was playing at Whittier when George Allen was the coach at Whittier, and
I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, the thing that this is probably the most researched book of sports I have ever read.
Crazy.
And it's called Coach George Allen. Lee Elder, our East Coast time representative, is the writer of it. And if you like a book that is well-researched, if you like a book that brings up names from the 60s and the 70s, you've got to read the book. I was reading it, I think, of Chris Hamburger and Myron Patios and Deacon Jones and all these guys that I haven't thought of in a long, long time. And they were players under George Allen, and he was. I didn't know that he was with the Chicago Bears as a coach at one time as an assistant coach, and then he was with the Rams, of course, on a couple of occasions. The Washington Redskins went into the Super Bowl in 1973 with the Redskins. Ended up his career at Long Beach State. And I watched something and I brought it up and I mentioned it to my wife. When I see after a game where coaches get dumped with ice water, and I always say, sometimes it's going to work against them in that the coach is not ready for it and gets shocked from it. Well, they won a game at Long Beach State, and they doused him with the ice, and he passed away 3 weeks later. So it's like, it can happen, You just don't want to see somebody get hurt from something like that.
But I'm telling you, he had me from the introduction.
It was
from
great.
The introduction.
And like I said, so many names, like, I haven't heard this name in years. Kickoff is going to go down to the 10-yard line, bringing it out across the 20, out to about the 20. They're going to mark it right around the 20-yard line. That's where the return is for the Cibola Raiders, who trail the Tigers by a score of 10-0 as the second half starts off. And Cibola going from right to left, from the north to the south here at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium. They're going to mark him at the 21, so first and 10 from the Cibola 21.
So Joshua Keys and Darian Romo combining on for the tackle for the Tigers. Yeah, but I had to mention that, and I've been meaning to mention that when I read about Max Fields, that he played at East L.A., and then he transferred to Whittier.
Right.
And played under George Allen.
Right.
Then it mentioned that he came to IBC, and then started announcing, broadcasting the games.
Direct handoff up the middle and getting some yardage out to the 30-yard line and then brought down. Another one of those where the running back or the quarterback runs one way and the running back just takes a quick direct snap, and it's Demarion Wilson, and he'll run over to his left. He'll get to the 30-yard line, a gain of 9, second down and 1.
I wish we could have got word to the defense that they were minus yardage in rushing.
Yeah.
Get them even more pumped up.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
So second down and 1 for Cibola. Andrew McNair completed 3 of 7 passes for 29 yards in the first half. It's going to be a direct snap up the middle again. Same play. This time it's not going to get any yardage at all, or perhaps a loss of a yard. We'll see if it's Demarion again carrying
it. Look at that. Mincher comes out from under that pile along with Apodaca, number 66, Jose Apodaca.
Minus a yard on that one, so it'll be a third down and 2 at the 29-yard line.
We got Ethan, Darren Romo, the linebacker, J.J. Jimenez. Esquives off to the left. Everybody else is the same.
3rd and 2 from the 29 for the Raiders on their opening drive of the second half, trailing the Tigers 10-0. Going from the shotgun again. Going to be a short snap again, and turning the corner and getting the first down on a good run by Ricardo Bravo. And he'll get across the 30-yard line. They'll mark his forward progress at the 34 and a gain of 5. So 1st and 10.
JJ had him at just about the line of scrimmage. Cannot arm tackle this kid.
Yeah, you got to get something behind it.
Because he's short and stout and big guy.
1st and 10 from the 34 for Cibola. Low snap. Quarterback's going to throw it to the far side as a receiver and throws it way behind him. Way behind him.
It's a good thing because Den had slipped already.
Mm-hmm.
Den, when he tried to come forward, he slipped, was on his back.
So it'll go incomplete.
Yeah, he threw it behind him.
Again, he gets a low snap. The snaps are coming down below his knees. And he's fairly tall, probably at 6'1", 6'2", and then he's having to come up from there every time.
It's killing.
With the way that the Tigers' offensive or defensive interior line has been going, you don't have extra time back there.
And they're so tight. They're so tight. Everything's timing. So
right.
Just that snap being off.
Again, they'll have that tight offensive back formation. It's going to be pitched to a second back through, and that's Messiah Mace. And he will get across the 35-yard line to the 37, a gain of 3. But a 3rd down and 7 coming up.
I mean, we're doing a great job up front for the defensive lineman.
It's 2 carries for Mason. It gets him back to 0. He lost 3 the first time, gained the 3 now.
Yeah.
So 3rd down and 7 from the 37 for Cibola. Their initial drive of the second half. Low snap, but the quarterback's going to get it. He's going to throw it out to the near side. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, the Marion Camarillo. That would have been good enough for the first down, but it'll be a 4th down and 7.
I don't know. Do you think we still have a problem with water right now? The ball being wet? Or?
It's possible. It could be, yeah.
Because that went right through his hands.
It did. And it wasn't that bad a pass. A little bit up in the air, but it went through both hands. So coming into front, Brigham Holt. And deep to receive for the Tigers, Jaden Wilson. He'll be standing back at his 35-yard line. Left-footed kicker, another high snap again, and he barely gets it off. Line drive punt, it'll to 43, crossing the 40, continuing a Raider bounce inside the 30, all the way down to the 25. They tried to sweep some air behind it to get it to go further, but that's where it'll end up. And the Tigers will have the ball 1st and 10 at their home 35.
Got about a 15-yard roll out of that.
Yeah, no, it ends up a line drive. It ends up being a good punt. 8:52 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tigers leading at 10-0.
I'd like to see Steven coaching right here on the sideline, coaching both ends.
And we were asking about Andres Castro. He's coming back into the lineup.
Right.
The backfield along with Ayala.
And Ethan's back there.
Yes, and Ethan Reeves is in there. Now, will he be in the backfield or will he be a tight end or a blocking back? Looks like he'll be in a blocking back position. And it off Castro. Bounces off the 1, twists his way, and will get a couple of yards out of it. A couple of yards out of nothing, really. There wasn't much there, but he was able to get a couple of positive yards out. It'll be a 2nd down and 8 from the 37.
You know what I like about Castro is the socks. It reminds me of the old USC from Anthony Davis. Those times they used to have all white with their pants up.
Charles White.
Yeah. High steppers right there.
High steppers.
Oh, I used to love to watch. Like Casey Feller. Another high stepper.
Yep. 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. From their own 37. And off Castro again gets a good push from the initial line. And the offensive line will give him about 5 yards. Out to about the 32. I'm going to correct myself. He was at the 27. So it makes out to the 32.
So we have Apodaca, Max Alvarez up front. Jordan Malik. And who's on this side? Ethan Aguirre Fierro. Great job by those.
3rd and 4 from the 32. I apologize. They were back at the 25 to start this drive. Handed off Castro again. Just gets away from one blocker and not getting some help from behind. He got out to about the 35, make a 34-yard line. He's going to be a couple of yards short after the 2-yard gain, so 4th and 2 coming up.
This is where we missed Rashard Robinson. We could have give it to him, let him go around the end.
Trying to draw Cibola offside. They're not going to bite into this one at all, and the Tigers are going to have to call timeout or a play.
No, they pulled the play in.
They're going to. Now Ayala will give the play to Castro. Now the Tigers are going to have to call timeout. 6:57 to go in this third quarter play. It's the Tigers 10 and the Raiders 0.
The Imperial Tiger Football Association was started years ago to help the football team with much-needed equipment and sending players to special training. Through their fundraising efforts, the Imperial Tiger Association is proud of what they have accomplished and what they will continue to do in the future. They are always looking for new members. You can call Victor at 760-960-6317. That's 960-6317 if you're interested in helping out. Go Tigers!
Johnny's Burritos, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1963. 3 locations, Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro. Delicious burritos, including your favorite breakfast burritos, made just the way you like it. Tacos and taquitos, sandwiches, burgers, carne asada, fries, and so much more. And don't forget their delicious Johnny's sweet tea. Johnny's Burritos in Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro.
The elder just chiming in and saying that he found out recently that one of the last players that George Allen tried to recruit at Long Beach State was a wide receiver from Brawley.
What?
I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Hand up the middle to Castro. He'll get the first down and gets across the 35-yard line to the 37, and it looks like he's just a little bit past the first down marker, and the Tigers will get the first down.
That's all it takes, a little bit. I'll take it.
So 1st and 10, Tigers put the ball at the 37-yard line. And he was saying that George Allen talked to Mike Swearingen, who's just in front of us right now, about 2 weeks before he passed away. And so it's good seeing Mike, former Tiger head coach. Throw over the middle, going to complete it. Out to the 50-yard line, still in his feet. It's Joel Campos. Via Campos, he's out to 35 to the 30. 25 to the 20, still in his feet. Finally going to be dragged down from behind inside the 15-yard line. At about the 11. Wow, nice job.
Great cut here in the middle of the field. He juked the safety and took it off, bounced it off to the right sideline. And just got caught from behind.
52 yards on that one. And a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line of Cibola. Handed off Jimenez up the middle, puts his head down, drives inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Gain of 4. And a 2nd down and 10. Or make it a 2nd down and 6.
Yep, right at 6. Great job by KJ putting his head down, trying to gain a little more. Okay. So we got JJ in the backfield again.
And penalty flags are going down. I believe it's going to go against Cibola, and it is a jump on Cibola. Offsides will give the Tigers now a 2nd down and short. 2nd and about 1.5 yards for a first down. 2nd, a little more than 1 yard. And putting it the ball at about the 2-yard line. On a 2nd down. Jimenez stays in the lineup. Ayala fakes the handoff. Going to carry it himself. Dives toward the end zone. Touchdown. Tigers. As Ayala will go in from 2 yards. Penalty flag goes down afterwards. A lot of John out there on both teams. And let's hope that this was John on the white jerseys and not the red, or that'll really upset
I think
Coach,
it's JJ number 3 going at it. And 3 kept following it towards the sideline.
So I believe it's going to go against Cibola. The touchdown will be good. And then personal foul against Cibola after the play. So the touchdown will stand, and Ayala will get the 2-yard touchdown run. Comes at the 5:04 mark of the third quarter. And Joel Robles tied the school record with a 49-yard field goal in the first half. Will be in for the extra point attempt. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 2 for 2 on the night. And 5 of 6 on the year. And with 5:04 to go in the third quarter play, it's the Tigers 17 and the Raiders 0.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. 2 years ago, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. So if you're tired of dealing with the inconvenience of our post office hours and you would like to be able to get your mail when you want, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, in the middle of the night, then come visit us at Southwest Postal with 24-hour staff. Plus, we're also your local FedEx, DHL, and Postal Service Center. We even offer text message and email notification when you receive your mail. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Heil in El Centro.
K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial is serving the best Japanese cuisine in the Imperial Valley. K Sushi offers you 50 different sushi rolls, plus beer, wine, and sake. And they also have teriyaki chicken or beef, rice and noodles. K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. They're open daily from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. K Sushi also caters and welcomes big groups anytime. Call 760-355-4440. That's 355-4440 for your takeout.
15-yard penalty will put the ball placed at the Cibola 45 on this kickoff by Robles. And does he kick it through the uprights?
Oh,
I think he's trying.
I hear a whistle.
It goes through the end zone, but a penalty flag will be down. It'll be a legal procedure against the Tigers to bring it back to the 50 and try it again. 7-play drive for the Tigers, 75 yards using 3 minutes and 48 seconds off the clock. And the touchdown by Jaden Ayala, his second touchdown run of the year on a 2-yard run. The extra point by Robles gives us a 17-0 Tiger lead over the Cibola Raiders of Yuma. And they're finally getting the football brought back after kicking it through the end zone and now close to McCarty Field.
Trying to put it into the pool, huh?
He was just an exceptional athlete. We talked about him on our drive up to San Diego. And, he was amazing.
I'm glad he was on our team. And I wouldn't have tackled him.
No.
There's no way.
No. So trying again from the 50-yard line on the kickoff. And Robles' kick, it is going to go through the end zone again. I saw their receiver back there. Yeah, there's a lot of John out there right now. So the Cibola Raiders will have the ball 1st and 10. They'll be at their own 20-yard line on touchback number 8 of the year. Like I said, it's got to be demoralizing after a while when you get the ball to 20 every time, and so that's what I would do. If I got a kicker that can kick through the end zone, do it every single time. Just boot it through there and let them take it there.
Better than a pooch kick. I just do not like those pooch kicks.
Nope.
Too much can happen.
Yep. And in high school, if the ball's in the end zone, you can't bring it out, so it automatically goes to the 20-yard line. Yep. Cibola will run that offense where everybody's tight in there.
Reverse.
Goes from one way and reverses back to the other to the near side. Getting hit and knocked down hard is Messiah Mace, but he will get positive yardage on it. A gain of about 3, 2nd down and 7.
That was an excellent job by Aaron Arlispe to read that and then put a hit on it.
Cibola in white jerseys, black numbers with gold trim, black pants, black helmets with a C on the side that's kind of like the Chicago Bears C. Picture that in gold.
I like these colors. I like the...
It reminded me of Olympian years ago. I had a snap's going to go low, and the quarterback's going to have to just dive on it. And they're really having trouble with snaps.
Yeah.
Really high on the punts and really low to the quarterback. It's going to be a loss back of the 3 yards. So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 back at the 20. And McNair's going to get charged with a -3 again. It's not his fault.
Yeah, Ethan's there. Ethan just getting to that line so fast.
So 3rd down and 10 for Cibola at their own 20-yard line. McNair empties the backfield and goes back to pass. Heavy rush again. Sack. Ethan Reed. I don't know if anybody touched him or he manhandled the line.
They're not touching
But,
it.
man, he just got in there so fast back at the 11-yard line. A loss of 9, and Cibola with their back to the walls are going to have to punt, and their punting's been kind of sketchy tonight.
You know what they ought to do is just hand the ball to Ethan and tell him to give it to the quarterback. He'll have a better chance that way. He's just
minus 31 on their quarterback, and it's been on sacks like that. And, man, Ethan just got in there so quickly.
Yeah, he didn't even move in either direction. He nowhere he could.
And I didn't see his grandpa Wes. We were going to interview him, or you were going to interview him.
Yeah.
Didn't see.
Yeah.
High snap, and in the end zone, it's going to be kicked, and he kicked it with his right foot this time.
Oh, he sure did.
He did. That's the punter's been kicking left-footed. He kicked it right-footed this time. He's going to get it out to about the 38-yard line, but the Tigers, or 28-yard line, and the Tigers are going to have excellent field position at the Cibola 28 to start the second drive of the half.
We are getting so close to blocking that. I just hope we don't get a roughing the kick.
Yeah, you don't want, especially right then.
We're there.
So the Tigers have the ball 1st and 10. It'll be around the 28-yard line, it looks like, with 2:51 to go in the third quarter of play, and the Tigers leading at 17-0.
Wow, that was a quick quarter.
Mm-hmm. All the runs Imperial had in that last drive. They only had one pass. The rest were all runs.
We've only had one possession, right?
Yeah, this is our second possession.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So 1st and 10, Tigers from the 28. Ayala has Castro in the backfield to the right side of him. He gets the call up the middle. Gets away from one tackler, spins his way inside the 20-yard line, and it'll be a gain of about 8 and 2nd down and 2 coming up. Nice run.
Oh, I like the way he hurdled that lineman. There's a lineman that fell in front of him. He just hurdled right over.
33 yards, tough running from Andres Castro, and a 2nd down and a long 2 for the Tigers from the 20-yard line. And off Castro again. Castro will get the first down, and up in touchdown, Tigers. He barely made. I was calling a little premature, but I wanted him to score on that. So bad. 20-yard run and a touchdown for Castro, his first of the year, and the Tigers are up 23-0. Yeah, he's pumped.
The whole team's excited for him.
Yeah, that's great.
I'd love to see that when all the whole team goes to congratulate.
Yep, they're happy for him. He likes seeing that.
Got to be a great kid.
20-yard touchdown run by Andres Castro, his first of the season. The Tigers leading at 23-0. Extra point attempt coming up by Robles, and so he hooked it. Yeah, he hooked it. It's going to be no good. So 2:17 to go in the third quarter play. It's the Tigers 23 and the Raiders 0.
Stan's Auto Body has been serving customers in the Imperial Valley for many years now. Their mission is to be recognized as a premier provider of auto body repair services. Stan's Auto Body also works closely with you and your insurance company on your collision repair. They're committed to delivering superior quality and customer service by exceeding your expectations. Stan's Auto Body thanks you for making them #1 with CarWise.com. Give them a call or stop by 1880 West Euclid Avenue in El Centro.
Start that day off right with your favorite drink from Brickhouse Coffee, next door to Brickhouse Deli at the Lisa Tucker Center in Imperial. Brickhouse Coffee has so many drinks to choose from. Hot drinks, blended drinks, or cold drinks, including the best tea in the valley with different flavors. Open daily with a convenient drive-thru. And next door, Brickhouse Deli with big, full, fresh flavors. The Valley's premier deli, serving breakfast and lunch. So come visit them both at the Lisa Tucker Center on West Ayton Road in Imperial.
Robles on the kickoff. It will go through the end zone. Touchback number 9 on the year. And 4th of the night. And Cibola will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20 on the scoring drive. 2 plays, 28 yards. Captured by the 20-yard touchdown run by Andres Castro. The extra point was no good. Used only 34 seconds off the clock, and now the Tigers are up 23-0.
That's a pretty run by him. He broke a couple of tackles and he got himself to an open spot and outran everybody. So we got Walters out here. Caleb Walters in for the Tigers in the defensive end. Joshua Keys at linebacker.
When that tight offense in the offensive backfield. Direct snap underneath, and it's going to go nowhere. Be a loss on the play.
That ball never got up. Never got.
I saw the quarterback dive, and I thought it was just one of
another
those fake
dive.
dives. It didn't, and yet it was because it was a bad snap.
I did wait.
It just did. Be a loss of 4 on the play.
So who else? Number 25 in there. Adrian Cortez. Up front, 56. Frankie Martinez. 72. Ruben Rivera. And I'll get to the next lineman in a bit.
Second down and 14 from the 16. Empty the backfield. McNair back to pass. Gets a good snap. Rolls out to his left. Passes in. Ooh, tipped. Nice tip at the last moment.
Walters.
Right. Caleb Walters. Nice job of tipping that right at the last moment. And it's incomplete. Third down and 14.
Everybody else is the same for the Tigers. We get a timeout, the Raiders.
With 1:31 to go in the third quarter play, it's the Tigers 23 and the Raiders 0.
For over 60 years, the Imperial Quarterback Club has supported all sports teams at Imperial High School. The money they raise goes a long way keeping our kids busy with school activities. Members are parents and community people who care and want to donate their time. If you would like to become a member, please call Betty or Larry Zinn at 760-355-1312. That's 355-1312. The Quarterback Club wishes the Imperial Tigers a great season. Go Tigers!
Wake up with us at Broken Yoke Cafe. Open daily at 7 a.m., serving you your favorite breakfast. From omelets, pancakes, how about eggs Benedict, waffles, and yes, Mexican breakfast too. Broken Yoke Cafe also serves lunch till 2 p.m. From sandwiches, salads, and yes, of course, the all-American cheeseburgers. You can order online at Broken Yoke Cafe El Centro or call 760-352-9655. That's 352-9655.
Yeah, well, let's try to find out. I was just looking at that text from the elder, find out who the Brawley player was that Mike Swearingen was talking with Coach George Allen about. Passed away back around 1990, I think it was. Well, what a great book. If you want a well-researched book,
oh, gosh,
you got to get that one. That's going to be thrown in and out of the hands of a Tiger, and it will fall incomplete.
What? Did he intercepted it?
Yeah, I thought at first he did too, but then I think it was broken up at the last moment by Mace. It will fall incomplete. It'll be a fourth down and 14 from the 16.
Oh, that was Adrian Cortez. Just came in for the Tigers. And Jaden going back deep.
Dyron Talbert. That was another name that I saw that. I go, wow, I have not heard that name in so long. So I really enjoyed the book.
Oh, gosh. It was great job.
But the research, the research you did was just unreal.
Yeah.
Just off the hook.
Must read. You guys, you get a chance.
He tried a left foot at this time and went off the side of his foot and will roll out of bounds at the Cibola 31-yard line. So it's only going to be a net of 17 yards, and the Tigers again have a short field.
Did better with his right, huh?
Yeah, he used his left foot this time, yeah.
And this time he had a good snap. Everything was there.
Right. And the kick was off the side of his foot, just went right straight to the side and goes out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to place it down. It's going to be around the 30 or 31-yard line. They're going to put it right at the 30-yard line of Cibola. So the Tigers will have a minute 16 here in the third quarter and a first and 10 at the Cibola 30. Castro stays in the backfield, gets the hand up the middle, big hole over the left side, gets the first down, continuing to drive inside the 20-yard line to about the 19, make it the 18-yard line, a 12-yard gain and a first down.
He's got some quick feet right there. Huh?
Get a good push from that offensive line, too.
Front line. Both sides of the ball.
Yep.
It's a great job by the big boys. And we have some big boys.
65 yards on 10 carries for Castro tonight and a touchdown. He's doing a great job. Castro is senior at 5'8", 195. He runs strong. Fakes the hand up, back to pass Ayala. He's going to have to run to his right to get away from defenders. Looks downfield. Now he's going to tuck and run. He'll get driven out of bounds around the 12-yard line, make it the 13, and that'll be a gain of 5, second down and 5.
I was hoping he spotted Nix in the back of the end zone. He's scrambling for his life.
He's running for his life. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, running for his life. He couldn't look down there. So a 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5, and that'll be the end of this third quarter play. With the score, the Imperial Tigers 23 and the Cibola Raiders 0.
Did you know that about 1,000 students from around the Imperial Valley are getting a jump on their college careers by attending IVC classes right now on their own high school campus? Ask us about our dual enrollment programs, available to students at most Imperial Valley high schools. Get started now at the #1 community college in the nation. Check us out. For information, go to imperial.edu and search dual enrollment. That's imperial.edu.
El Zarape restaurant in Imperial is 100% authentic Mexican cuisine. Their extensive menu features traditional handmade Mexican dishes with nothing but fresh ingredients. El Zarape restaurant has taken it over the top with their creative ideas like stuffed special quesadillas with carne asada, shrimp, or pollo asada. There are 17 different burritos. El Zarape restaurant, 139 South Imperial Avenue in Imperial. Or call in your order at 760-355-4435. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Andres Castro, when you think about it, he hadn't carried the ball the first 2 games this season. Tonight, 65 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown.
I need to find out why.
He's looked really good tonight.
Yeah.
So
he's a running back. He's running like a running back.
And then when you've got Jimenez also carrying, and he had a 100-yard game last week, he's got 53 yards on 11 carries. So between the two of them, they're over 100 yards just the two of them, you know.
I love it.
So, yeah. Dixon will go wide to the left for the Tigers. Lopez will be in the slot left. And then on the far side, Jaden Wilson will go split. Castro will stay into the lineup to the left side now of Ayala from the shotgun. Ayala taking his time. It's the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it out, going to complete it out in the flat. Carrying the ball to the 10, to the 5, diving to the end zone, touchdown. Well via Campo for 13 yards and a touchdown for the Tigers, now up 29-0.
Another flag. Got to be on via Campos.
On
celebrating. Yeah, celebrating.
Oh, afterwards?
Yeah.
It'll be after the kickoff then. 13-yard touchdown pass for Ayala, and that's his 6th touchdown pass of the season. This one will go 13 yards. And for Villacampos, that is his 3rd touchdown reception of the season.
Yeah, they set him up perfect. Just off to the left, all by himself. No defenders, and then great blocking.
Yep.
By whoever the end was on this side. And he got hit by 2 Raiders, but he pushed it into the end zone.
He knew where the marker was to dive inside of it, and he did.
Got hit hard, but he made it in.
The Robles will come in for the extra point attempt. And they added the yardage to it, so it'll be a longer one. They'll place it down around.
Oh, now they're bringing it
I think they're going to do
it's going to be on
should be on the kickoff, yeah. 3-play drive on the short field of 30 yards. And he took add it up here in a second as Robles gets ready for the extra point. It's down, kick is up, it's good. With 11:51 to go in the game, it's now the Tigers 30 and the Raiders 0.
Roto-Rooter, your plumbing and drain cleaning specialist. Roto-Rooter offers full services, from hydrojetting to camera inspection, water heaters, faucets, garbage disposals, anything that's clogged up. They'll take care of the problem right. Roto-Rooter is a locally owned family business. 60 years in the Imperial Valley. Call the experts at 760-352-6789 or 344-2533 on the north end. Roto-Rooter. When drains don't work, we do.
The Imperial Tiger Football Association was started years ago to help the football team with much-needed equipment and sending players to special training. Through their fundraising efforts, the Imperial Tiger Association is proud of what they have accomplished and what they will continue to do in the future. They are always looking for new members. You can call Victor at 760-960-6317. That's 960-6317 if you're interested in helping out. Go Tigers.
So they'll mark off the yardage against the Tigers on the unsportsmanlike after the touchdown. So the Robles will be kicking out off from the 25. I don't think there will be a touchback.
No. And they're still back there.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to kick it that far. You're looking at 75 yards in the air to it.
They had 13 players on the field.
3-play, 30-yard drive using 1:25 and off the clock, and a 13-yard touchdown pass from Jaden Ayala, his 6th of the season, and the 3rd touchdown reception by Villacampos. The ball is mishandled at the 15-yard line, then picked up and carried out across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Who was that? 17.
Messiah Mace brings the ball out, and Cibola will have the ball 1st and 10. And see where they're going to mark it down. Should be around the 32-yard line. Let's see.
Yep, right about there. Oh, they're still moving.
Still moving.
Where are they going?
Maybe the 31? How about the 31-yard line? Let's go with that. 1st and 10 from the Cibola 31. The Raiders have the ball, trailing the Tigers 30-0. Tigers looking for their 2nd shutout in a row against Cibola. 43-0 last year. Direct snap, going to carry it around the left side and breaking open now. Breaking out tacklers, getting across the 30-yard line to the 41 and close to a 1st down.
Good job by Walters to catch him from behind and bring him down.
Not sure who that running back is.
Mentioned more that
I think it might have been Ibarra. I'm going to give that to him. It'll be a 1st down as he gets out across the 41, so 1st down on the 10-yard gain. So 1st and 10, Cibola from the 41-yard line. Low snap, going to carry it, and then get
reverse.
And the reverse again. Yeah, this time he's going to go to Messiah Mace, and he will twist his way out to the 45-yard line at a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
Good job by Adrian Cortez to stay home and able to bring him down after a short gain. So we've got like a 4th and 6. So what you got?
4th and 6 from the 45-yard line. 10.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Tigers leading at 30-0.
Bunch of new players for the Imperial.
Right, I noticed Elijah Guerrero's out there, 6'4" and 195. And a defensive tackle. And off second back through again, getting back to the line of scrimmage and getting some positive yardage. Messiah Mace will get to the 48-yard line.
I think they had already blown it dead.
Be a gain of 3. So 3rd down and about 3 to go.
Give that one to Joshua P. 2nd tackle of the night.
So 3rd down and 3 for Cibola at their own 48-yard line.
Trying to get some more of these numbers.
Adrian Cortez, 25 out there.
Victor Amarias.
The Tigers getting a coaching staff getting a look at some other players on the defensive side. Fakes the reverse this time and carrying it to the near side, and nobody on the Tigers bit that at all, as Ibarra is going to be tackled for a loss back at the 42-yard line and a loss of 6. So 4th down and 9 coming up from the 42.
We'll give that one to Sonny Beltran. Hey, they didn't pull anybody on them. Even the new kids that came in are doing a great job on the defensive side.
4th down and 9 for the Raiders from their own 42-yard line. Less than 9 minutes to go in the game. Tigers leading at 30-0. Looking for a 2nd consecutive shutout against the Raiders. I believe last year's was a 43-0 win in Yuma. And that was a big defensive game. I think the defense had 9 turnovers in that game. I don't think we've had any tonight. But last year, 9 turnovers produced by the defense. Cibola's going to punt it. Good snap this time. He's going to kick right-footed this time. And that is Brigham Holt.
Is it 30?
He's kicked left-footed and right-footed. I've never seen that on a punter. And it will go down and roll dead at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will have possession. 1st and 10 from their own 27.
Maybe it all depends what hash mark he's on. Right or
left. Maybe, yeah. I've never seen that. I've never seen a punter kick using both legs. And, it's kind of strange.
It is strange. Okay, so the same offensive front for the Tigers. Dora Mayen Via Campos. Jaden Wilson going off to the right.
Ramona leading Central. Final score now, Ramona 34, Central's 20.
Ooh.
So a 2-touchdown win for Ramona. Get some other scores for you in just a moment. Tigers have a man in motion, going to hand it to Dorame on the left side, going across the 30-yard line. Hits and brought down to 33. Penalty against the Tigers. Going to probably see a hold on this. So good positive yardage, but it's going to be brought back on what I believe is going to be a hold. Other updated scores, Southwest 14, Gila Ridge 12 at the half. Eagles up. Hoville 26, Mountain Empire 0 at the half. So Hoville leading 26-0 in that one.
Did you see Southwest over Gila Ridge?
Yes, right now 14-12 at halftime. Yep.
The last time update I had was Hoville 26-0 at half.
So they'll bring that back and make it a 1st and 10 at the 25, like the play didn't happen.
Timeout. Tigers.
And timeout for the Tigers. 8:03 to go in the ball game, and it's the Tigers 30, the Raiders 0.
Johnny's Burritos, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1963. 3 locations, Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro. Delicious burritos, including your favorite breakfast burritos, made just the way you like it. Tacos and taquitos, sandwiches, burgers, carne asada, fries, and so much more. And don't forget their delicious Johnny's sweet tea. Johnny's Burritos in Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. 2 years ago, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. So if you're tired of dealing with the inconvenience of our post office hours and you would like to be able to get your mail when you want, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, in the middle of the night, then come visit us at Southwest Postal with 24-hour staff. Plus, we're also your local FedEx, DHL, and Postal Service Center. We even offer text message and email notification when you receive your mail. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Heil in El Centro.
Have some more updated scores for you. We'll get to you in just a second. Tigers have a 1st and 10. Ball placed thrown 25-yard line. 30-0 lead. A little over 8 minutes to go in the ball game.
Sure hope it helped us move up in the standings.
Fake the handoff, back to pass Ayala. Throws it, going to complete it. Via Campos will catch it at the 35-yard line. Be brought down immediately. It'll be about a yard short of the first down. I guess they just said the first was at the 26, so it'll be a 2nd and 1 from the 35.
I think Via Campos was expecting a big hit on him. Did he have to jump up to get that?
Ayala 3 for 3 in the second half, all those to Via Campos, and totaling up 74 yards on those 3 passes. 1 a touchdown. Handed off up the middle. 3 minutes. No, it's Via Campos, and he's going to get the first down, continue to rumble across the 50-yard line. And it's going to be Ethan Reeves. And Reeves will get across the 50-yard line to the Cibola 47 for a first down for the Tigers. 18 yards on the game. First carry for Ethan tonight, and it's good for 18 yards. He busted that, didn't he?
Yes, he did. This is what he did at West Hills until he went out to injury.
Hand it off again to Reeves up the middle, and Ethan's not going to get anything there. Maybe a yard. It'll be a 2nd down and 9 from the Cibola 46. 6:47 to go in the ball game. Tigers leading at 30-0. Had a 10-0 lead at the half. Scored 3 times here in the second half. And a school-tying record 47-yard field goal in the first half by Joel Robles. 2nd down and 9 Tigers. Back to pass Ayala. Has to run out of the pocket. Runs to his left. Has a little bit of open field to run. Penalty flag will go down. And a first down for Ayala, but a penalty flag in the backfield.
Holding 62. Right in front of the white cap. Yeah. Coach shot down there. Why? He's already down the field.
He's passed. He's passed, exactly. No, he's right.
He's only a sophomore, though.
Yeah, Malik was engaging with the defensive player, but when the quarterback has run and is 10 yards away from you. Let go. Just disengage. But the penalty field will bring the ball back to the Tiger side of the 50-yard line at the 44 and make it a second down and about 14 from the Imperial.
Timeout.
44. Timeout called by the Tigers. 6:06 to go in the ball game. Imperial 30, Cibola 0.
K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial is serving the best Japanese cuisine in the Imperial Valley. K Sushi offers you 50 different sushi rolls, plus beer, wine, and sake. And they also have teriyaki chicken or beef, rice and noodles. K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. They're open daily from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. K Sushi also caters and welcomes big groups anytime. Call 760-355-4440. That's 355-4440 for your takeout.
Stan's Auto Body has been serving customers in the Imperial Valley for many years now. Their mission is to be recognized as a premier provider of auto body repair services. Stan's Auto Body also works closely with you and your insurance company on your collision repair. They're committed to delivering superior quality and customer service by exceeding your expectations. Stan's Auto Body thanks you for making them #1 with CarWise.com. Give them a call or stop by 1880 West Euclid Avenue in El Centro.
So after the timeout, the Tigers with a second down and 14 from their own 44. We'll make it a second down and about 18, I should say. Second and 18 from their own 44. Ayala, back to pass. Going to throw deep on the far side. Has a man open. Completes it to the 10. 5. Touchdown, Jaden Wilson. And what a pass by Jaden Ayala. So Jaden Wilson will go...
How many yards?
56 yards for the touchdown.
Yep.
Man, he aired that out. And
never broke stride. Perfect.
Never broke
right
stride.
On the fingertips. Beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Great job by Jaden.
56-yarder. And that was Jaden Wilson's first reception of the night, his second touchdown reception of the season. And the Tigers are up 36-0. Robles in for the extra point attempt. Ayala on the hold. Ball is down. Kick is up. It is good. 5:57 to go in the ball game. It's now the Tigers 37 and the Raiders 0.
Start that day off right with your favorite drink from Brick House Coffee, next door to Brick House Deli at the Lisa Tucker Center in Imperial. Brick House Coffee has so many drinks to choose from. Hot drinks, blended drinks, or cold drinks, including the best tea in the valley with different flavors. Open daily with a convenient drive-thru. And next door, Brick House Deli with big, bold, fresh flavors. The Valley's premier deli, serving breakfast and lunch. So come visit them both at the Lisa Tucker Center on West Ayton Road in Imperial.
For over 60 years, the Imperial Quarterback Club has supported all sports teams at Imperial High School. The money they raise goes a long way keeping our kids busy with school activities. Members are parents and community people who care and want to donate their time. If you would like to become a member, please call Betty or Larry Zen at 760-355-1312. That's 355-1312. The Quarterback Club wishes the Imperial Tigers a great season. Go Tigers!
Scoring drive for the Tigers, 4 plays, 75 yards, including the 56-yard touchdown pass from the Jadens, Ayala to Wilson. And the extra point by Robles good. 2 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock to make it 37-0 Tigers.
Got to go back to that pass. That was the prettiest thing he's thrown all year.
When he went back and you saw him rear back and he's going to let it fly for a long one, and then I looked for the receiver and Wilson had broken past the defender and he never broke stride, like you said. He just never broke stride. And it was just beautiful.
First I thought it was way overthrown, but he ran right
It was perfect.
Like it fell right to him.
Yeah, it was perfect. Another touchback for Robles. And so Cibola will get at the 20-yard line, back to pass McNair. Throws it over the middle on a screen pass. Going to complete it, and then brought down.
Walters again?
Yeah, at the 24-yard line, only a 4-yard gain.
Great job by Walters since he's come in. Giving the first team a big rest.
Second down and 6 from the 24 after that 4-yard pass. Completed to Farrar. his first reception of the night.
I do like those little screens. I wish we had something like that.
Low snap again, getting it off the ground, rolling out to his left, and a lot of room to run McNair, and then squaring up is Walters to bring him down. Penalty flag in the backfield, possibly a hold this time on the Raiders.
Oh, he pulled him right down. Number 58 pulled 31 down.
Yep, the hold against the Raiders. How about Walters' open field tackle like that, though?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish I could give him that tackle.
Yeah.
Great.
That was.
He's had a real good second half.
Yep, he has. Tigers led this one 10-0 at the half. Now lead 37-0. So did the Gipper show up? Was it?
Yeah.
What kind of speech did Coach Shaw have at halftime?
All right. He's just telling me they have a running clock now.
Running clock. Okay, yeah. Running clock with a 37-0 lead. McNair looks over the defense. Goes back to pass. Sets up. Going to pass it way behind his receiver. Way behind his intended receiver. Messiah Mace will fall incomplete. And it'll be a 3rd down and 6. Or make it, no, after the penalty. That's right. We had the penalty, so it's still 2nd down.
I think he's remembering the rush he's had all night, and he's just hurrying himself because he had a lot of time left.
With that penalty on the hold, it brought the ball back inside the 15-yard line to the 13. So 2nd down and about 16 yards to go for a 1st down. Clock continues to roll. 3:31 to go on a running clock for the remainder of the game. Back to pass McNair. Has to roll to his left. Now passes across himself, intercepted by the Tigers, and it will go for a touchdown. Adrian Cortez will get the pick and the pick six. There you go. You have your 43-0. Same score as last year. He was just waiting for that.
Yeah.
And McNair was running to his left and then turning across his body, throwing it back to the right, and just there was nothing on it. And Cortez did a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes and then getting it. This is a wide open field with a touchdown.
It looked like he was throwing at him. Huh?
Yep.
Nobody else around.
No, you're right. It did. It looked like he was the receiver. So for Cortez, gets the pick six. Haven't called one of those in a while.
We don't have a holder.
They weren't ready for it so quick. 2:42 to go in the game, running clock, and no holder yet. Al runs out there. And if we get to delay a game, he can still boot it through. So.
He just won't reach the pool. Like in reality.
Yeah. Robles, the extra point. It's good.
Good.
2:20 to go in the ball game now. Tigers 44, Raiders 0.
For over 60 years, the Imperial Quarterback Club has supported all sports teams at Imperial High School. The money they raise goes a long way keeping our kids busy with school activities. Members are parents and community people who care and want to donate their time. If you would like to become a member, please call Betty or Larry Zinn at 760-355-1312. That's 355-1312. The Quarterback Club wishes the Imperial Tigers a great season. Go Tigers!
Wake up with us at Broken Yoke Cafe. Open daily at 7 a.m., serving you your favorite breakfast. From omelets, pancakes, how about eggs Benedict, waffles, and yes, Mexican breakfast too. Broken Yoke Cafe also serves lunch till 2 p.m. From sandwiches, salads, and yes, of course, the all-American cheeseburgers. You can order online at Broken Yoke Cafe El Centro or call 760-352-9655. That's 352-9655.
About a 25-yard return on the pick six for number 25, Adrian Cortez. And with the extra point good, Tigers leading at 44-0. The Raiders are going to bring this one out to the 20-yard line. To the 25, still trying to get some running room is Mace. And the Tigers with a 44-0 lead now. And my sister Kyla listening from Middleton.
Kyla, thank you for listening.
Idaho. At game time, she said it was 73 degrees with a nice west breeze. And yeah, we could use those nice west breezes. So thanks for listening in, Kai.
Yes.
And if we've been scratchy on one, check on YouTube. I know Jamie Platt was listening to us.
Yeah.
And then moved over onto the YouTube coverage, and it was much clearer there. So
good. I don't know if my sister also, she was listening in, and she's the one that was telling me that we sounded staticky, and then we started breaking up.
So 1st and 10 for Cibola, and I don't know if they're going to get a play off as the clock continues to roll and 19 seconds to go, and they have a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Oh, he's under center.
Yeah, he's going to go under center. Hand it off, second back through. It's Mace. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to get hit and hit and hit and hit. It'll be for a loss, and that'll be the final play of the game. Final score, the Imperial Tigers 44, and the Cibola Raiders 0, and we'll recap the scoring for you in just a moment.
Did you know that about 1,000 students from around the Imperial Valley are getting a jump on their college careers by attending IVC classes right now on their own high school campus? Ask us about our dual enrollment programs, available to students at most Imperial Valley high schools. Get started now at the #1 community college in the nation. Check us out. For information, go to imperial.edu and search dual enrollment. That's imperial.edu.
El Zarape restaurant in Imperial is 100% authentic Mexican cuisine. Their extensive menu features traditional handmade Mexican dishes with nothing but fresh ingredients. El Zarape restaurant has taken it over the top with their creative ideas like stuffed special quesadillas with carne asada, shrimp, or pollo asada. There are 17 different burritos. El Zarape Restaurant, 139 South Imperial Avenue in Imperial. Or call in your order at 760-355-4435. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Roto-Rooter, your plumbing and drain cleaning specialist. Roto-Rooter offers full services, from hydrojetting to camera inspection, water heaters, faucets, garbage disposal, anything that's clogged up. They'll take care of the problem right. Roto-Rooter is a locally owned family business with 60 years in the Imperial Valley. Call the experts at 760-352-6789 or 344-2533 on the north end. Roto-Rooter, when drains don't work, we do.
The Imperial Tiger Football Association was started years ago to help the football team with much-needed equipment and sending players to special training. Through their fundraising efforts, the Imperial Tiger Association is proud of what they have accomplished and what they will continue to do in the future. They are always looking for new members. You can call Victor at 760-960-6317. That's 960-6317 if you're interested in helping out. Go Tigers!
Tigers led this one 10-0 at the half, but then they poured it on in the second half at the 5:04 mark of the third quarter. A 7-play, 75-yard drive using 3 minutes and 48 seconds off the clock was capped by a 2-yard touchdown run by quarterback Jaden Ayala with Robles' extra point. Tigers led it 17-0. They would make it 23-0 less than 3 minutes later on a 20-yard touchdown run by Andres Castro, his first as a Tiger varsity player. Extra point was no good. That was only on a 2-play, 28-yard drive. They used 34 seconds and made it 23-0. And then the 3-play, 30-yard drive using 1:25 and capped by a 13-yard touchdown pass from Jaden Ayala to Joel Villacampos would make it 30-0 after the extra point, and that was at 11:51 mark of the fourth quarter, so at the start of the fourth quarter. And then just 5 minutes later, a 4-play, 75-yard drive using 2 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock, and probably the prettiest pass that Ayala has passed this year goes to Jaden Wilson for 56 yards, and with the extra point, it was a 37-0 game, and then a pick six by number 25, about 25 yards away, Adrian Cortez, and with the extra point, with 2:42 to go, was the final score, 44-0, with the Tigers winning it. For Jaden Ayala, we said he has again.
Yeah.
First half, he completes 4 of 10 passes for 30 yards. On the second half, he completes all 4 of them with 2 touchdowns and ends the night 8 of 14, 160 yards and 3 touchdowns, giving him 7 on the season and no picks.
No picks yet.
Right? 5 catches for 82 yards by Villacampos and a touchdown. 1 catch of 13 yards for a touchdown from Julian Jimenez, and then 1 9-yard catch by Jaden Lopez, and then Jaden Wilson with the 56-yarder for a touchdown is the receptions for Imperial. And then in the rushing department, there would be Andres Castro, and I think he's the one who impressed me the most tonight, unexpectedly. 10 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Jimenez, 11 carries, 53 yards. Ayala, 5 carries, 3 yards, had a couple of those that were sacks, and Ethan Reeves 18 yards on 1 carry. And I came up with 139 rushing, 160 passing for 299, so just missed it 300 by 1. Oh. But I'm going to recheck on that because it may have been a little short on that. 56 and 18, 74 and 65, 139. Yep, that's right. So 299 unofficially on that for the Tigers. But the defense.
That's what I want to hear.
Outstanding. Their quarterback, Andrew McNair, would complete 4 of 12 passes for just 33 yards. And then rushing, you had Messiah Mace, 5 carries, 10 yards. Demarion Wilson, 4 carries, 11 yards. Ty Stout, 1 carry, -5. Ricardo Bravo, 3 carries, 7 yards. Issa Ibarra, 3 carries, -9, and the quarterback McNair was caught for -31. We got -40, -45, and then at 28, so -27 rushing and 33 passing, so a net of 5 yards unofficially. That's how good the defense was. You've got the tackles. We'll get those in a moment. Again, the final score, the Imperial Tigers 44, the Cibola Raiders 0.
Johnny's Burritos, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1963. 3 locations, Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro. Delicious burritos, including your favorite breakfast burritos, made just the way you like it. Tacos and taquitos, sandwiches, burgers, carne asada fries, and so much more. And don't forget their delicious Johnny's sweet tea. Johnny's Burritos in Raleigh, Imperial, and El Centro.
K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial is serving the best Japanese cuisine in the Imperial Valley. K Sushi offers you 50 different sushi rolls, plus beer, wine, and sake. And they also have teriyaki chicken or beef, rice and noodles. K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. They're open daily from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. K Sushi also caters and welcomes big groups anytime. Call 760-355-4440. That's 355-4444. Your takeout.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. 2 years ago, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. So if you're tired of dealing with the inconvenience of our post office hours and you would like to be able to get your mail when you want, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, in the middle of the night, then come visit us at Southwest Postal with 24-hour staff. Plus, we're also your local FedEx, DHL, and Postal Service Center. We even offer text message and email notification when you receive your mail. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Howe in El Centro.
Final score again, the Tigers 44, the Raiders 0 of Cibola. And George, you have some defensive stats for us?
I sure do. Let me get those out. I didn't get those out yet. One thing I wanted to mention, I just found out today that Eric McGarris on the coaching staff. I had no idea.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I remember seeing that big boy in West Hills, but last I heard he was in the CO Academy and has joined us out there at the prison. But let me give Ethan some kudos here. I have him with 8 tackles, 3 sacks to lead all the defenders. Then I have Joel Villacampos with 5 tackles. Aaron Arispe from this right tackle position, I have him with 5. Darian Romo ended up with 3. Villacampos also with 3. Mincher with 2. Joshua Keys came in the second half, ended up with 2. Caleb Walters had a heck of a second half with the Tigers with 4 tackles, but he's all over the place. Did a great job today. Victor Maria, Bo Zinn, I mentioned Joshua Keys already. Danny Esquives with 2, and Jose Aputaka from the North position. He had 2 tackles for the Tigers.
We were trying to let people know that we run the YouTube channel as well, and in the future, check on YouTube and check for the games. When we get the opportunity before the game, we put it onto Facebook on the Imperial California Memories page so that you can get on that. I think that the quality was a little bit better on the YouTube channel. Go ahead.
One more, Adrian Cortez. I got to give him a shout out there. He's got Pick six.
Pick six, and it was about 25 yards, and he wears number 25, so it's kind of a nice way of looking at that. And that was the first interception for touchdown that we've seen this year by the Tigers, and really quite, and he's walking now, look at the smile on his face as he's walking over to some of the fans that are here. And so what a great job of picking that off and then going into the end zone. It just made a great night for him on that. We have some final scores for you. We'll get to those as our wrap-up will finish up here. 44-0, the Tigers win. We'll be right back with those scores.
Stan's Auto Body has been serving customers in the Imperial Valley for many years now. Their mission is to be recognized as a premier provider of auto body repair services. Stan's Auto Body also works closely with you and your insurance company on your collision repair. They're committed to delivering superior quality and customer service by exceeding your expectations. Stan's Auto Body thanks you for making them number one with CarWise.com. Give them a call or stop by 1880 West Euclid Avenue in El Centro.
Start that day off right with your favorite drink from Brick House Coffee, next door to Brick House Deli at the Lisa Tucker Center in Imperial. Brick House Coffee has so many drinks to choose from. Hot drinks, blended drinks, or cold drinks, including the best tea in the valley with different flavors. Open daily with a convenient drive-thru. And next door, Brick House Deli with big, full, fresh flavor. The Valley's premier deli, serving breakfast and lunch. So come visit them both at the Lisa Tucker Center on West Ayton Road in Imperial.
Lois Sayas was saying that they listened to the game and will be up at KQ Ranch the next 2 weeks. We'll listen from up there, so you'll be seeing them up there as well.
Hopefully we'll get to see them because we're coming back Monday morning. We've been up there for a week already, 10 days.
And let's see, Roy Platt was saying that he moved over to, I sent him the link on YouTube, and he moved over to there and found it, and said that Melissa, his high school back in Texas, won 63-33 against China Springs, Texas. So congratulations to them, and thanks for tuning in once again with us, Roy, and congratulations on being inducted into the Imperial Valley Football Coaches Hall of Fame.
That is big.
That's really cool.
Is so
really
cool. Congratulations.
And some updated scores, some finals for you. The Central Spartans traveled up to Ramona and lost to the Bulldogs there, 34-20, the final score there. And it was Holville 45, Mountain Empire 8 as a final score. And last report, Southwest was leading Gila Ridge 14-12. And we will be traveling over to Gila Ridge next week. Calipatri was leading O'Farrell 13-0 in the second quarter, last report. And Palo Verde was trailing 16-0 in their game. Vincent Memorial was leading El Cajon Valley 7-0 in the first at last report. So that's some updated scores and some finals for you. Our final score here in Imperial, the Tigers pick up their second win of the season with a 44-0 win over the Cibola Raiders. And back-to-back years, 43-0, 44-0.
Good showing.
A lot of defense.
Yes, a lot of defense second half.
You know, we said that last year the Tiger defense had 9 turnovers, and we were getting late in the game, and we had 0 turnovers that we could cover, and then we get a pick six and makes it all good.
Awesome. I was trying to get Villacampos' attention and congratulate him. Yeah. Another good game for him.
Yep, another good game for sure. Great game for the Tigers on offense and for defense is evidenced by that 44-0 score, moving their record to 2-1 on the season. The Raiders dropped to 0-2, and Imperial will be traveling to Yuma next Friday night to play against Gila Ridge. And if we get the YouTube link for you quick enough, we can put it on the Imperial California Memories page. You can go straight to that. You'll be able to hit the link. It'll come straight to us, and you'll be able to cover the ball game with that. We apologize for some of the mistakes that we had earlier, and there were just some.
I thought it was. I was scrambling.
Right, it was. We didn't know if it was on our side or back in the studio, and so we apologize for those problems that we had. But we're glad that you stayed with us. Thank you, Lee Elder, and again, congratulations on your book. Just a fantastic book on George Allen, and I encourage everyone to get a copy of that and read it, especially if you're a fan of old NFL football like I am from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. Roman Gabriel, you know, I called a game where his son was the quarterback at College of the Desert years ago, Robin Gabriel, and he was about 6'6" and probably weighed 180 pounds. He was real skinny, but he could throw the ball.
But you called games with Phils, didn't you?
Basketball. Yeah. Right, IBC basketball games at Max Fields. And Lee interviewed Max for the book because, like George had said, Max played for the Whittier Poets with George Allen there and was recruited by George Allen. And just a remarkable book. And
you have to read it.
The research in which Lee Elder did on that book is second to none.
The computer will work any shoes. That's
about it. So I encourage you to get that head coach George Allen.
Yes.
And
so we'll see everybody next week.
And we'll be on the air. As far as we know, we'll be on a 7:00 start time for the game next week. So make sure that you tune in for that. I want to get the exact name on the George Allen book. I know he's Coach George Allen. I want to make sure it's Coach George Allen.
Coach George Allen,
a football life.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to pick up a copy of that, please do so, because it's just a remarkable achievement by Lee Elder, and we appreciate when he checks in with us and lets us know he can picture the games in his mind, having called games before on radio in the past, and so he can come up with things that maybe we're not seeing, that even though he's in Ohio, he sees mentally and lets us know. So we appreciate you doing that with us each and every week, Lee.
Yeah, thank you, Lee. And thank you for that book.
Yep,
the book was outstanding. Good read. Excellent.
Well, that's about it, I think.
That's it.
We called it.
Let's get back up to the mountains.
You're heading back to the mountains
right now.
I'm heading home, just a few blocks away. But we want to thank all of our sponsors one more time for being with us here in this 2023 season, and they include my computer to the right spot so we can get them all. We want to thank the Imperial Quarterback Club, who've been with us for many, many years here on KXO. We want to thank Broken Yoke Cafe for the IBC dual enrollment and award-winning Imperial Valley College. Our thanks to the El Zarape Restaurant, who's also been with us for many, many years. Our thanks to the Roto-Rooter, to Imperial Tiger Football Association, Johnny's Burritos, just a few blocks away from us from right here in Imperial, and also in El Centro and Brawley. Southwest Security, K Sushi with us this season, and we thank them, and Stan's Auto Body, and Brickhouse Deli. So make sure to meet up with those sponsors to help us out and help keep these games going.
Yes. Great game.
Great game.
Another good second half.
Another good, outstanding second. I'm telling you, we need to find out from Coach Shaw what he's telling them at halftime, because
they played like at the beginning.
Exactly. Whatever that speech is, do it before the game, not at halftime. So anyway, we'll have to tease him about that a little bit. But again, the final score here in Imperial, the Imperial Tigers defeat the Cibola Raiders 44-0. For George Grijalva and Mickey Dale signing off from here. We'll talk to you again on Friday night from Yuma.
Yes. Good night, everybody.